Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 474 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Tim, and he writes, well, I work as a musician playing organ in churches for weddings, services, and funerals, mostly funerals. So the challenge for me is always staying on top of the work, sometimes also arranging music choices so that they can be played on the organ. Obviously, this is a question for Tim. When I asked him how is his organ practice going and what are some things that are challenging for him. So he is a church musician, obviously, and probably needs to find more time to practice, as you understand, right?
Yes, and also know how to arrange the repertoire, how to choose the repertoire, probably.
Oh, you mean choral pieces or piano pieces?
As he says, arranging music choices.
What does it mean?
Well, don't you remember when working at church you will have to select what to play? Was it always easy for you to arrange music, or to maybe sometimes you would choose not the original piece, you would have to adjust it to the organ?
Yes, so you mean like piano piece or choral piece?
Yes, that's right.
That's, I think, so usual for church musicians today. Sure, you can work through your organ repertoire in church, but in most cases requirements are much wider, and sometimes you have to adapt choral music, piano music, music for other instrumental ensembles if you find that suitable for your occasion. And that's an extra skill to learn.
True. And it's interesting that Tim is playing mostly for funerals. So I guess it must be, like an old congregation that, there are so many funerals.
Mm-hmm.
More funerals than weddings.
Bach would be glad, right?
Yes. Because when Bach went to live and to work in Leipzig, he was promised, to be paid extra for such activities, as playing funerals. But apparently he didn't have, too many of them to play, because he was writing to his friend to Poland and complaining in his letter that, healthy wind is blowing and nobody is dying. So at least him, has more funerals to play than Bach did.
All right.
I hope he get paid well for them as well. But definitely it's not, the most pleasant thing, to do, to play at the funerals. I guess you might get used to, after playing for many years, but it's still not the easiest task.
Mm-hmm. Can you select some maybe like 10 pieces for your funerals and rotate them so that you will be prepared for any occasion?
I think that's what you should do probably. Because deceased wouldn't complain probably. Don't you think so with this?
Deceased might not be angry with you, but their relatives might be.
True, but still, unless, there are like some people who often attend funerals just because we like it, and then might notice after, a few funerals that you're playing the same music over and over again.
You mean like funeral crashers?
Yes.
Uh-huh. But I think it's a good idea for people with less experience, with little experience, to gather 10 or 12 pieces in your repertoire and play a number of them in one funeral and then select another choices but from the same program in another and rotate them and then gradually start learning something new.
And I have seen, many collections that are used for wedding music and are written for wedding music, collected for wedding music. And usually they contain lots of arrangements. But actually I haven't seen any funeral collections, funeral music. Have you seen?
There must be.
There must be some.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, if you have couple collections for funeral and couple collections for wedding, I think it's more than plenty.
We never needed those collections because we selected our own repertoire or improvised. Like a chorale prelude which would be played on a soft registration would sound very nice, I would say, for any funeral.
True. And plus I think a lot of that funeral music might be used in service too. Occasionally.
During communion, you mean?
Yes. Or offertory.
Right. During funeral, your purpose probably is to play in a manner that wouldn't distract the family in attendance and mourners. Basically, it should be like a background music, meditative music.
True.
So there is plenty of such meditations written throughout ages, as I said earlier, about chorale preludes, communion pieces in later times, elevations also.
True.
Right. So I hope Tim will find something for himself as well. And arranging for music, of course, is a different, separate skill that he needs to work on. I think writing it down is a good idea for beginners who haven't done this before.
When I just started to play at church, when I was in the second grade of, Academy of Music, I wrote down many church hymns because some of them were not harmonized, had only one voice, and some of them were written in very uncomfortable keys. And because I was new at all that liturgy playing thing, it was quite hard because you have so many things to absorb and to know and to do. So I would write them down.
But now you don't have to do it anymore, right? We're playing a symphonic poem by Mikalojus Konstantinas Čiurlionis, Lithuanian romantic composer and painter from the beginning of 20th century. It's called In the Forest, and we're playing from the piano duet performance arrangement, but we're playing on the organ as an organ duet. Obviously for piano this texture works just fine, but for the organ we need to adjust it in many cases. But I chose not to write it down and do it on the spot. Would that be accessible for the beginner?
I don't think so. I highly doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we do actually, because we realized that instead of writing it down, we better practice more.
Right. At our level, it's already doable. So guys, we hope this was useful to you. Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, it has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching.
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.